I am Savvy Mike, and this is Savvy Reviews. And well, this is my official review. Spoilers, indeed. Well, as much as I can spoil. Not much to spoil. I'm not even gonna lie to you. This is not much here, really. But either way, still enjoyed this episode. This is part 2 to Tokyo #1 Colony. And in this part, we basically get our introduction to Higurama. Now, apparently this guy is really important to the Culling games, the arc and the story that's about to happen. Seeing how it was set up, we get a whole backstory with him, basically. I like him as a character. He's pretty cool character. I fuck with the backstory as well. And it was interesting and very compelling. I'm not gonna lie. I was very much so intrigued in who this man was and what his powers was and what he fully did as a lawyer, and him trying to get this man off who was on trial for murder, but he believed that he didn't do it. But unfortunately, your beliefs isn't enough evidence to help save that man, so he ends up getting the chair, I think. and so, you know, it's a meme of the basically the thumbnail. Everybody's using it as a meme now ever since this episode dropped. So that's basically one of the stressed out points in him doing his law thing. But he has cursed energy. He has this cursed technique and this domain expansion where I guess he turns shit into court. I don't know. It wasn't really fully explained, which is fine to me. I like the mystery. I don't want it to be explained. Like, let's find out more about who this guy is and how his powers work. And I like the backstory, giving him the character development that it gave him. So overall, really cool to me. I'm not gonna lie. I was very much so intrigued in who this man was and what he's gonna bring to the table. He's already racked up some points in the Culling games, and that's one of my main critiques so far in this season. It's kind of like we're basically dragging this out because we know how this ends in a sense, right? So they're trying to basically filler episode. Set up shit. Now, I don't know. This could have been how it went in the manga. I could be completely wrong. You could tell me in the comments below. No, the pacing was the same in the manga. If the pacing was the same in the manga, I take all that back. They're just staying true to character and story. If the pacing was not the same in the manga, then yeah, we're just dragging this out because we know how this ends, and it's not going to end as satisfying as we're going to want it to, and we're probably not going to see certain characters until the next season. By the end of the next season, if we're being completely honest, if I can be complete, I think we're not gonna see. I'm not gonna say who, but I don't think we're gonna see them. Certain main characters, if we're being honest. We might see Sukuna at the end of this season. Might. Highly doubt it though. Highly doubt it. I think he'll be in next season, and so it just makes this feel like a season full of setup to get to. And it's just like when you got this fan base, you got people watching, and you want to stretch this out for as long as you can. You want to stretch this mystery out. You want to stretch the story out for as long as you possibly can. Because if you get to the conclusion too fast, then well, what more else is there to do after that? So they want to milk it. They're milking it. They're milking it with these filler episodes. They're milking it with all this setup to fights. And we got like 4 more episodes left. What more can happen in 4 episodes? You know what I'm saying? I know what's going on here. This is clearly filler for the sake of dragging it out. And so in that, I feel the pacing is pretty, slow. While I like the animation, I do. It's still fucking animated perfectly, to be honest. Now, I'm loving the characters and the story and where it's going. It's just none of this feels like it matters. You get what I'm saying? If it feels like we're kind of gonna get to this end point, and everything all this exposition, all this shit that we've been going through, yeah, it'll come, like it'll be key at some point, but will it? And that's for people who knows how the manga goes. The only reason I know is because people spoiled it. So if you know what I know, then will it be worth it? But regardless of it, I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed this episode. I did. I like the setup of Higurama. Definitely the star of the episode. And I can't wait to see the fight between him and Yuji. It literally ends in this domain expansion, about to pop shit off, and then the episode's over. So I've seen a lot of reviews and comments saying this was their favorite episode of the season so far. And I would have to nothing has peaked like that Maki episode. Nothing. We haven't peaked like that yet. that still be, but I rewatched that episode a few days ago, And I watched it in dub because I only watched it in sub last time. And yeah, that was some shit. Like just how the music cut on, the animation, the fight, it was amazing. So yeah, we're not getting we haven't got no Maki level peak ever since then. So at this point, we're just waiting to get back to out of this filler. These last few episodes of JJK, probably not this one because it's setting up the next fight, but last two, bruh, chalk them up as filler. You don't even gotta watch them. Just a lot of explaining the people's domains and powers, and just trying to get the story from one point. It's like point A, point Z, right? And what they're basically doing is going through each letter of the alphabet until we get to the point when they could skip some letters. They could if they wanted to. And like, no, we're gonna do this in very much so detail and get you there when we feel like it. We gotta milk this shit. We gotta milk this JJK hype. And I love JJK. I'm hyped, but I love it for the pacing and the great storytelling and the great animation and the great characters and watching that story play out how it does. And well, unfortunately, at this point, I'm like, let's get to it. Either way, enjoyed this episode, but still though, let's get to it. And hopefully that's coming next week. Either way, let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, I'm Savvy Mike, and this is Savvy Reviews. Think about it like this. This episode's end with them finally meeting up with who those two, the Megami and Yuji, the two characters that was basically taking them to the different places. This episode ends with them finally getting there and confronting who is at each spot. But that's it. Like, it's just like, so we took a whole 40 minutes basically of these last two episodes. You know what? All right. Like I said, it feels like they're milking it. But hey, let's see. Regardless of it, I am Savvy Mike, and this is Savvy Reviews. Peace.